So when it comes to my favorite game system, there are so many legendary and amazing options out there, but at least for me, it had to be the Sega Dreamcast. Because of the fact that ever since I was a kid, arcade games are my favorite, and still to this day, those are the games that I still play on my retro gaming systems. And when it comes to overall hardware, I think the Dreamcast did a really incredible job, especially considering when it was released on 9/9/99 here in the United States. But at the end of the day, it's all about the games. So that's what we're going to look at today.
Okay, so I know this is a Sega Saturn, but what can I say? I'm a Sega fanboy. So let's take a look at some of the really great games that came out with the Sega Dreamcast, starting with Sonic Adventure. Now, this game was really incredible for the simple fact that a lot of Sega fans were hoping for a Sonic game whenever the Saturn came out. And even though there was a Sonic game on there, it wasn't a true 3D Sonic game. But with the Dreamcast, we did get that. And then to go along with that was this one right here, this sequel, Sonic Adventure 2 with Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, and many other characters from the Sonic world. This was definitely a fun game. And then we had some other ones, including this right here, Echo the Dolphin. So I did enjoy Echo the Dolphin on the Sega Genesis and Sega CD. This was a fun time. And then one of my favorite sports games was this one right here, Virtual Tennis. There's also Virtual Tennis 2, but man, this was fun tennis arcade action. And then we had another super fun and unique game, Jet Grind Radio. The music in here was awesome. The gameplay was just so much fun, and it was different. But that's not the only games that we have for the Sega Dreamcast. So here we are. Sega Dreamcast games from Japan. We have Virtua Fighter 3TB Tournament Bout Edition. And I was never huge into Virtua Fighter, but Virtua Fighter was an amazing series, and it really set the benchmark, and also I would say the beginnings of 3D fighting games. And then to go along with that, one of my favorite fighting games of all time, Soul Calibur from Namco. And this is the Japanese release. Whenever I saw this, I was absolutely blown away by the graphics and gameplay. And still to this day, this is still my favorite Soul Calibur game. And then another absolutely legendary fighting game, Marvel vs. Capcom. We have here, once again, the Japanese edition. What can you say about this game? It is just the best that Marvel and Capcom has to offer. And this is also still my favorite out of the series. But maybe Marvel vs. Capcom Part 2 being better. But this one really set the standard. If I remember correctly, it was just so much fun. And then we have Sega Rally Championship. Oh, man. This was, I would say, what a rally game should have been in terms of the arcade. And there were other sequels to this. But Sega Rally is the one that really set the bar for me. And the Dreamcast version was great. And this is actually Sega Rally 2. I thought it was part 1, but this is part 2. And I would say part 2 was, I would say, about equal to Sega Rally 1. Some people like Rally 1 better, Rally 2. I would say it's about the same. I enjoyed both of them equally. And now we have one that I did not expect. And here it is, Resident Evil Biohazard Code Veronica. This was specifically made for the Sega Dreamcast. It was different, and boy, it was so amazing to finally have a Resident Evil game on the Sega Dreamcast. And then finally, we have a fun title right here. These two other ones, these are not Japanese, but they were fun. Samba de Amigo. It came with some really cool accessories to enjoy this dance, or I would say music rhythm game. And finally, we have an arcade game that was pretty fun, Hydro Thunder from Midway. Fun game, kind of reminded me of a Nintendo 64 game like Wave Racer, but just different. So those are some collection of Sega Dreamcast games. And, the American versions, they were pretty great in my opinion. But the Japanese games and the Japanese releases were, wow, they were just pretty incredible. So if you actually had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave in the comments here below. And I'll see you on another episode.
Hey geeks, if you are a brand new creator and you simply want something easy to get you started, well, I got something for you with my Creator Starter Kit. This is a super simple step-by-step guide that's going to take you from having no channel to developing your very first YouTube channel, along with ideas, thumbnail designs, and other creator tips, including marketing. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and get started creating.